Hello, I'm Robert Manji, Instruction Librarian at Western Oregon University. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps to complete your Week 5 practice problem set. By the end, you will have completed a visual of health data in the United States and a visual of health data of Oregon by county. You will be able to upload your completed maps to Week 5 practice problem set. If you have any questions, contact me at Robert Manji, Monger, M-O-N-G-E-R, @woo.edu. To complete this assignment, we're going to use Excel on the school's computers. You can get to that by using the school's computers at the library or remotely by accessing the VDI from your portal. When you open your portal, look for this little icon that says VDI, which is Virtual Desktop Interface. That's the remote way to connect to our school's computers. You don't need to be on campus to use this option. If you want to use the school's computers to complete this assignment, you can jump to minute 305 of this video. Let's connect to the VDI. You log in with your username and password. This will be the same that you use for your portal. Select the student pool, STU pool. You will get several warnings. These are just indications that if you want to use these tools, like say multiple monitors in this case, that you have to allow these permissions. You're not actually selecting the permission. This is just letting you know that if you want to use these tools, this is what you have to do. You will get additional ones like if you want to view this as full screen, or if you want to allow manage windows on all your displays. If you're using multiple displays, I would allow that. If you want to use full screen, that's fine. If not, it will show both the VDI and your computer's toolbar at the bottom. If you get this pop-up box, VDI wants to see text and images copied to the clipboard. I would allow that. We will be copying images and using the clipboard. If you get this pop-up screen, it's asking you to use cameras or microphone. You don't need to allow that for this. We're not going to be using the cameras or microphone. So I didn't allow full screen, and you can see this top bottom toolbar, that is the VDI, and this bottom toolbar is my actual computer. So I will be using the search box here when using the VDI. Right, let's open up a browser and let's go to the WU portal. The reason we're coming back to the WU portal is while you use the WU portal to connect to the VDI, once you're in the VDI, you have to open up the programs again because you're remotely connecting to the school's computers. Look for the library icon. It'll be the book. And open that up. We'll keep the WU portal because at the end we'll go to Canvas to upload your final assignment. Go to Course Guides. Look for the HE 343 Introduction to Health Data Visualizations. And come down to the Maps with Health Data. There is an example worksheet, United States and Oregon data. Go ahead and open that up. And it should have downloaded up in the right-hand corner, but if not, you can go to Files, Downloads, and there the file will be. Let's go ahead and open that up. We're going to start by creating the United States health data map. Here is information from the CDC, diagnosed diabetes, total age, adults aged 18 plus years, and this is an age-adjusted percentage. This data is coming from 2022. The first thing that you want to do is highlight your data. Go to Insert, and we're looking for the Maps make this just a little bit larger here so I can see. So we're going to add some chart elements, and there's two ways you can do that. You can either select the plus sign chart elements, or in the upper left hand we can also do add chart elements. We're going to select data labels and show. Now over on the plus sign you can see we've also selected chart title, data labels, and legend. Those should all be checked. Now either from the upper left hand side, if you go to data labels and we want to select more data label options, or from the plus sign, the data labels, there will be a little caret, and you want to also select more data options. And from there, we want to select category name and make sure that value is selected as well. You can see in this box here, it says comma as the category name and value. If you look at, say, Oregon, we've got, that's the category, the state, Oregon, comma, and then the value. So that's what that means. If you want to select something like new line, then it puts the state and then the information on a new line. So this is letting you know how you want this data to look on there. I'm going to select the new line, but you can choose another option if you like. Now we are in the data label category, format data labels. If you want to change the color of the map, select an area of the state that's not a data label. Montana is a good option because it has a lot of extra space. Now notice that we are in format data series. So if you go down to series color, you can choose a sequential 2-color, and that's what this one is here. You can also do a diverging 3-color, and that gives you a separation, and then you can also alter those colors. I'm going to choose green as the minimum, yellow as the midpoint, and red as the high. Kind of a stoplight model, I guess. This data is coming from the U.S. Diabetes Surveillance System. This is the title of the data that I downloaded. So I want to add that to my chart title as well. So I'm going to select chart title and just backspace to delete it. And then I'm going to just Control V to paste that in. So now I have my completed map. Let's come down to the search box here. And again, I'm using the top one on mine because I'm not in the full screen mode on the VDI. If you're on campus computers, this would just be the singular text box there. Let's go ahead and look for Word. And go ahead and open up a Word document. Okay, let's come back down here at the bottom to our Excel. Right-click on your data visualization and select Copy. Let's come down here to Word and right-click again, and we want to paste. And here we want to make sure we use the Keep Source Formatting. All right, so now we have our data map. At the top, let's put your name, HE343, week 5, practice problem set. All right, now would be a good time to save. Let's go ahead and go to File, Save As. Go ahead and hit Browse. And I'm going to expand this just so you can see it. We want to select this PC, a little caret there, and you're looking for something that's called the H drive. Mine has my name on it, yours should have yours. This is a place where you can save anything on the campus computers or the VDI. And this is important because once you log off the campus computers or the VDI, it will erase everything that you've done. So I want to make sure that I have this saved as I go along so I can access it again. And again, I'm just going to label this the same as I did the Word document, my name, the class, and then what it is. This is the week 5 problem set. And let's go ahead and hit save. So now we have the United States map done. Let's go back to our Excel document at the bottom here. Let's go ahead and save our Excel document as well. Let's go to File, Save As, Browse, and then if you don't have, you should already have this PC selected, but if not, go ahead and select the caret. And then we're going to go down to the H drive, and we're just going to save the HE343 map as it is. Since we've already downloaded this, we want to save it. All right, now let's do the same for the Oregon data. That is right below the United States data. So now notice this time we've got the data labeled as Oregon, and then we have the county. So this is how you would format data when you're looking by state and county. Up above, we just had the state and the data. So here, we've got the state, county. If you were doing different countries, like say Argentina or the United Kingdom, you would have the country listed here and then the province listed here before the data. So it would work equally as well. Let's select the data, and notice I'm not selecting the data labels, just the data itself. So get all of that down. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go up to Insert and Maps and select Filled Map. I'm going to enlarge that. And the same process, you can go with the upper left hand and go to Data Labels and Show, or you can do the plus and select Data Labels. And again, we want to add more data labels. So we're going to select the category name. And here again, you can choose the line separator. I do like the new line option, so I'm going to select that. And once again, once we've got our data labels put there, we're just going to select one of the spaces that's not a data label so that we can get into Format Data Series. And again, I'm going to change my color. You can keep it as a 2 color if you want. I like to have the 3. And I'm going to use the same options. Green for the lowest, yellow for the midpoint, and red for the maximum. This data is also coming from the U.S. Diabetes Surveillance System. This is a different year, but I'm going to grab the title, just highlight the title there and copy it. Control-C to copy that. Come down to my chart title and Control-V to paste that in. Since it appears on 2 lines, I'm just going to come here and hit Shift-Enter so that it just looks a little bit nicer there. You can decide how you want to do that. Let's go ahead and also save this again. So we're going to Save As, again, Browse, this PC and your H drive. We've already copied, so I'm still going to overwrite that. As before, if you right-click on the chart, you can select Copy. Let's come down to Word. And now I have my Oregon data. Let's go ahead and File. We're going to do 2 saves here. We're going to save as the Word document, and we're going to go to Browse, this PC, the H drive. And again, we've already had that one there. So now we've got both our Excel sheet with the maps and our Word document saved. Let's go up to File and Save As. And this time we're going to change this from Word document. Select the little drop-down menu. And we're going to go to PDF. Now we're going to go to Browse. Make sure that the H drive is selected. And hit Save. Alright, so now we have our Excel and Word document saved, but now you also have a PDF that you can turn in. So from here, let's go ahead and go back to the portal. And this time, let's go to your email. This is just a safety measure here. But let's go ahead and compose a new email. And just email this to yourself. So I'm email it to myself. And just going to label it as AG343 Week 5 problem set. Now down here at the attachments, we're going to scroll down until you get to the H drive. That should be under this PC. And I'm just going to hit Control and then select these 3 files. So now I've got everything that we worked on today, and I'm sending it to my email just in case for some reason we lose the files. Now let's go back to the portal, and we can go to Canvas. And to your HE345 class, come down to week 5, and you can upload your PDF that we saved to the week 5 practice problem set. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can email me at Robert Monge. My email is monger, M-O-N-G-E-R, @woo.edu.